Welcome back, everyone. This is Frank Whiskey Charlie Zero Oscar. I'm using the X100VI to film this. I'm using the wide-angle lens that Fuji sells, the WCL X100 Mark II. A very, very nice lens. So far, I can see that yes, it does give you a little bit of wider field of view. And I did a test already with and without the lens in terms of video, just to see the compositional size, and I can tell and I can be confident in saying that the WCL X100 Mark II does give you that extra little bit of room. And I'm going to move this. I don't know. It's very hard to tell without testing. So I just put it on, and hopefully it gives, you can see that it's much wider. So this whole video is about the focusing. Does the camera focus in continuous autofocusing with face detection? And I think when you're in continuous autofocus, I think it might be sort of automatic if the focal point is in the middle and I'm the center of the frame. But I put face detection, and we'll see how that works. It's fully automatic. It has the ND filter on it, and the audio comes from the camera. And the audio is not bad. I mean, the audio is pretty good quality. So again, it's all about focus. Sometimes when you put things in front of the lens, right, it's going to get out of focus, of course, but doesn't come back to me and focus nicely. And many Fuji cameras cannot focus back to the subject. Some will say, oh, it's your settings or something. No. There's something about the older cameras, and it could be different things. Like if you have an XT1 with a 16mm lens, the 1.4, you'll get that hunting, and it has nothing to do with software. I think it has a lot to do with the hardware. Legacy lenses on Fuji, they're not meant for video. And I know somebody out there will be saying, well, Fuji is not a video camera. You're right. Well, these particular cameras, but they have video features, and you would expect to have some baseline where it will do an autofocus. People love X cameras because of the color science. Yes, this is in black and white. I get it. But I think overall, people like this camera as a picture camera. But I've always wanted it to be a video camera too. And I think the X100VI was at a baseline, I think. And I think it was what should have been an X100S. But now they're at the X100VI, I think the baseline now is a little bit higher. The bar is a bit higher. Filming with the 23mm crop sensor lens that it has, the built-in one, it was doing a great job in focusing. Even when I was putting things in the way per se, it was pretty amazing. Or like lowering a visor and then lifting it up. I remember doing that in other Fuji cameras, and it just couldn't handle it. It is able to detect your face, but it's not able to focus on that face for whatever reason. Let's put some glasses on. Let's see if that helps or hinders it. Or maybe it's been doing a great job. I don't know. When I get home, I will put my comments on there. But I think overall, I think we're in the right spot for this camera in terms of focusing with the 23. Now this, of course, the WCL X100 Mark II. This one is a 28 millimeter equivalent to a 35, a 28 millimeter equivalent to a full frame, which will be approximately 18, I think, millimeters cropped. So it's 23, right? Let's see, is that right? Yeah, 23 millimeters is about 35 equivalent. And then this one, I think it's 28 equivalent to a full frame, and it's 18 on cropped. A lot of numbers. The thing is does it look wider? Yes, it does look wider. Adding the lens to it, does it put more weight? Yes. Does it look less discreet? Yes. And again, now here, let's put this cap on. Let's see what happens. And let's make it darker. Let's see if it can still focus. One gripe that I've had with the X100, well, there's a few of them, but no camera's perfect, and you're not going to get what you want, right? So the issue for me is that I wish it was a 24 millimeter equivalent to a full frame. You know, nice wide. It's not super wide, but you know, it's 35 probably because it just costs, you know, it costs less to make a 35 millimeter equivalent to a full frame. And you know, historically people would take pictures, street photography with the 35 millimeter lens. I get it, but you know, I think, here we go again, blocking the view. I think that 24, I think, is a little bit better for street photography. Yes, you know, if I'm so worried about getting much wider, just walk back. I get it. Ben Long, the guy who I learned a lot from the Lynda.com series, would say that, you know, he would have his 5D Mark III, I think, and he would have the 24-105 lens. He's like, that lens is enough. You need wider, just walk back. Turn around if you have to take another picture. Very practical, very old school. That's right. But in a situation like this where it's fixed, you know, I'm about more than 12, maybe 15 inches from maybe the sensor, it's really hard to get it wider. Sure, I could put the camera on that side and then be filmed this way, and it would just have a much wider look and feel, and you know, I would be okay with that. But having the camera over there, and you know, if it falls, it would be a little bit harder for me to reach here. If it falls, I can sort of catch it, and it's just, for me, it's just a little more practical. But again, this whole idea is to get a sense of the focusing of the camera, because you'll find out if you look at any of the legacy cameras, there's no video like this where it will, you know, it just shoots continuously and it does whatever it wants to. It will, you know, like I mentioned before, it's on fully automatic, so I'm interested to see what it really looks like overall. Okay, I think that gives you enough gives you enough information on how this camera looks and feels with the continuous autofocusing and the audio. Right now, it's about 77 degrees outside. I'm pretty sure this camera is heating up a little bit. I'm sure that if it was in the 90 degrees outside or more, this camera would have been overheating, which is something that, you know, is common with a lot of cameras. So if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you're a ham operator, thanks for keeping up with my channel. More content of ham radio, of course, is going to be on here, so don't go away. Pretty soon you'll see some more. But my interest in cameras has been around in this channel for a long time. So thanks for people subscribing. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for those people that give thanks. I appreciate it. I hope to see you soon. This is Frank Whiskey Charlie 0 Oscar. All right, bye-bye.